Well, hello once again, everyone. This is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the NautilusDryDocks.com, and this is my weekly update video where we're just going to be going into everything that I managed to accomplish, which isn't going to be much. I'm going to be brutally honest with you because I got a work trip coming up. Tuesday through Friday, going to be out of the shop, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to have some epic awesomeness to show you. We're going to be throwing a bunch of boats in the water, including that long-lived, long-in-the-tooth, poor, ignored Hunt for Red October Typhoon. And we'll finally see whether or not it works. Well, we're going to kick things off with a trip to the top secret test facility. But before we do that, we need to take a quick look, revisit where we ended up last week with the Thunder Tiger Neptune Alvin conversion. So this is it, and since you looked at it last time, I 3D printed these little shrouds for the outsides of the floodlights. It helps with the light bleed around the outside, and it looks so much cooler. I put a new battery in the radio because the old one was on death's door. Lasted about 10 minutes. Oh, look at that. Why is the pump going? Why does it have no signal? Why is it doing this? The radio is on. Hello? Hello? McFly? Hey! What's going on here? This is not a good start to the week here, people. We don't want to start the week with something bad. So we're just going to turn it off. And we're going to pretend it doesn't exist. We're going to walk over here to the other side of the shop. And we're going to look at the Red October. All assembled, basically ready to go. We're going to do final trim test, and if it trimifies nicely, there's no reason we can't drop this in the big test facility. I don't want to speak too quickly. You know, I just don't. And just like that, here we are at the top secret test facility, and objective is to ensure that the trim hasn't been modified from where it was before, which was perfect. But now that I've taken out those metal bars, which I believe are sitting above the surface waterline, we may need to add a little weight. We'll see. Let's see where it's floating. That looks pretty dang cool to me. All right. Meow. Might need to shake. Might need to shake it a little bit here. Get all the air bubbles out. We need to add weight in the front. What the heck? What's going on here? Bunch of weight right here in the middle. Yeah, right in front of the sail. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll go get some weights. All right, I think this is pretty close. Let's bring it up and see where it floats. All right, I'm liking it. I am liking it. So we'll put a couple weights inside. I'll open it up, jam the weights in there. Boy, do I ever like those lights. You're not going to lose track of this boat. Especially not a swimming pool. And then if everything goes well, it's out into open ocean. Into that murky soup that I'm calling a swimming pool. Alright, here we go. Here goes nothing. I'm going to have to do this while steering and operating everything with one hand, which is super exciting. Alright, a little throttle. That's a little too much throttle. There we go. So I'm going to use the differential thrust here if I can. Oh yeah, look at that thing turn around. Oh yeah. So this is using the differential throttles. And you just kind of manipulate the forward and backward. Boy, those jets are a pain in the butt. Those are just the jets in my pool pushing it around. Yeah, the rudders basically don't do a lot, I will say. But that differential steering is where it's at. Yeah, it needs a lot of speed in order to get any sort of rudder response whatsoever. Diving, diving, there we go. Dive. Oh shit, it just goes right under there. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it can spin around underwater. It is nose heavy under there. I gotta shift some weights forward or back. All right, bring it back up. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's sitting nose low. All right, cool. All right, I shifted a weight from the front into the back there. We'll see if that makes any kind of a difference. Oh yeah, it's spinning right around underneath the water.
Increase the flank. Increase the flank.
So my pump is not pumpifying. I can hear it turning on, but it's not sucking any water. Let's see what's going on in here. We got bubbles coming out the back. Oh, there we go. It's sucking water, you see? Where's the water going? Where's it going? So it's just pumping out and leaking around the back there. I don't think those springs are very strong. Maybe these doors are going to need to live open. I think they are. Maybe I snip the rubber bands real quick. Let's see what it does. It's just like piddling out. Well, that was a failure of epic proportions. All right, boys and girls, let's recap. She's a little bit, it needs a little bit more buoyancy. Not worried about that. Super fast with a differential steering. Worked really, really good. Rudders, basically useless. in a pool. What I'm most disappointed in is my Caterpillar drive. I was really thinking that this was going to work. Let's revisit. Check my math. Check my brain. Should this work? Water comes in, gets split into two hoses, into these little compartments that are basically sealed, and then the water's got nowhere to go except out right here. But it's not. Well, that sucks. All right, it's Saturday, and I just got back from a business trip to Florida. And unfortunately, that means nothing got done in the shop. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm still going to try to get a little bit done in the shop this morning before I edit this video and upload it for all of you guys. There's a couple of things. Let's recap, because my brain is in the future from where you guys are, because the last time you saw me was on Monday. Let's recap. Red October is not caterpillaring. We're going to need to do some testing. I'm not going to be able to get that done today, but it just needs a little bit more foam to get it just a slightly more positively buoyant. We need to test and see. It's moving, it's doing, but it's just not going. You know what I wonder? This is a 12-volt pump. 12-volt pump running on 7.4 volts. I bet, because that's about half of what this pump wants. I never thought of that. I wonder if we bump this up to 12 volts, if that would squirt better. We're not going to worry about that until next week. Our LA. Things are positive so far. Things are looking promising. We need to crack into here. And I got a little solenoid valve. Just like that. And we're going to see if we can put that in line with the pump output. Because, as you recall, what's happening, the ballast tank's filling, and then the pressure is unfilling it. So, not cool. Not cool. And Alvin. Alvin needs a couple little things. We need to drill some holes in here before we start doing some trimming, because there's air trapped underneath our new shell pieces here. So just like, and then that'll be done. And we need to figure out how to keep this on the top. Let's do some pumpage first. First thing we're going to do is see if this 12-volt solenoid will fire off of 7.4 volts. Yeah, another 7.4 volt boat. That's not a bad thing, guys. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a little more challenging to find the componentry. All right, hooked it up to the main drive battery that we're going to be using. Doesn't matter with a solenoid valve, the polarity, it'll fire in either direction, which is why this works in the pump scenario. So let's see here. Nope. Shoot! Well, actually, I can hear a clicky click. I just thought it'd be more, solid clicky click. Let's do some blowing here. Nope. I have thoughts. And it happens from time to time. Oh, my glasses. I forgot about these. Okay. What if we get a little crazy here? We'll put a 3S LiPo, 11.1 volts, swap out this crazy thing. You guys remember this pump from last time? It's a peristaltic pump, which is why it takes so long for the ballast to go. What boggles me, though, maybe it's not even. This may be a little gear pump. That's what it is. It's a little gear pump. It's not peristaltic. Silly boy. That's why the water's draining back through it. A peristaltic pump would pinch it closed. But now, if we testify our solenoid valve, it should kick at 11.1 volts. Yep. And this is smaller. And everything will be running off of 12 volts. The only thing that could potentially be an issue is I'd imagine the drive motor in the back is a 6 volt. But you can get away with that by simply limiting the endpoint for your throttle. Then you could get a maximum of, say, 6 or 7.4 volts to the motor because the electronic speed controllers are happy at whatever voltage. This is an upgrade. That's what this is. All right. It's time to remove this old pump. Unfortunately, it looks like he's just got bullet connectors on there, so that's kind of cool. And these, and put this unit in. And this is going to cycle probably 3 times as fast. Probably 3 times as fast, I'm thinking. All right, let's see if this crazy thing works. We'll get their 3S battery. It's just going to turn on. I've got to turn on my radio because I got no switch in here right now. This is fine. It's fine. Got a little twitch. Hold on. I think that motor will be fine. I think it'll be fine. All right. Here we go. Testing the pump. Well, the pump works. I don't know if the solenoid's working. It's all in there. Yeah. Yeah. I'd have to pull this all out. I should have tested it. Why didn't you tell me to test it before I put it in there? Yeah, tested good. Now I guys got to rehook everything and jam everything back in there, and we can throw this back in the water. Now, there's going to be a weight differential between this and this. So what we could actually do, weigh both, see what the difference is, and add a little weight to compensate. Good. So, LA is ready for the water again. And I feel strongly that the 12 volt situation is what's wrong with the pump on Red October. I'm going to waterproof this battery. We're going to put it in, understanding that we're going to need to add some weight to offset the differential in mass. But hopefully that means that the pump will be pumpifying at a rate that will propel this vehicle at just a pace. A pace. That's all it needs to do is move. But we got to do that when the sun comes up because it's still early. 4:52 a.m. All right. Let's go take a look at Alvin's sail. Okay, so we got to get this thing onto this thing in a removable manner. Not just so that you can get back into the hull, but for transportation. You don't want that big giant sail sticking out, right? It's just not good. This is what I'm going for right here. And this is what I'm using right here. These are rare earth neodymium magnets and a 6mm drill bit. And the secret sauce is you just got to take your Dremel and just put a little tiny grind mark on the upper part. And when this press fits, which it is, it's a press fit, I just put a little bit of CA around there and then tap it in, and it's lockified, completely locked in place. So let's show you how we do it. Like I said, just right around the upper portion. That's it. That's all you need to do. Don't grind a channel in it. You just want to rough it up so that the CA sticks to it. And if you take too much of the coating away, it's going to rust like a booger. Now we're gonna pick our spot here, which I've already marked. It's exactly right here. Take our magnet, a little bit of glue, just a little bit. That's all it takes, because this is press fit. I told you already. Like that. Get off. Then I'm going to take a little tappy tapper and a wacky whacker and tap it in place. Now when this kicks off, it'll be completely locked in place. 1, 2, I'm going to put a third one back here, but I can't put it on the joint because this comes apart. You see? You see? So I'll do it off to the side here. So we'll have 3 points of attachment. All right. There's a little bit more to this than meets the eye. So these are the magnets, the paired, you know. So look how powerful those are, man. You just like, boop, snap it right down. Okay, you got to make sure that these line up perfectly with these, but putting them in this. And this is how I elected to go about it. I created a T-shaped interior bracifier that's going to go on the inside of this sail here. And if you put it down, I traced the outline of the sail. If you put it down and just go, you end up with dimples where the magnets go. So now, in theory, if I drill those out and glue these in, it'll be perfect. Turned out good, if I do say so myself. There we go. Our magnetificationized sail. Now I had to grind these little ridges down. You can see these were there before. So that T fits in flush, but this is all covered. I don't care. Bam! Love it. That turned out really good. I'm not surprised. I'm not. Okay, where are we at with this? Well, we need to put it in the water. What do you think is going to happen? Use your brains. Where do you think it's going to float? Presuming it was trimmed out properly previously. So if we take a look, we've added weight. So we've taken away some weight from that old dome. We've added some weight a little forward. We've added a few little floodlights. That's not a lot of weight. It's not. We've added an arm in here. Oh, that doesn't turn. This turns. And we've added Glenn. So we've added weight forward, which means I'm thinking this thing's going to sit like that. Now, just how cockeyed it's going to be, I don't know. Depends on how messed up the trim was previously. I don't know that either. All we can do is throw it in the water and see what happens. Well, with Alvin done, I think that's about all I'm going to be able to get done in the shop here before I need to edit the video for you guys. And I know, it sucks that I need to go away and make money to earn a living, to put food on the table. But that's the way it is. And hopefully we had some cool stuff for you to look at this week. Next week, it's a normal week. We'll get lots done. And it'll be cool stuff. Let's revisit. When next you see the next week's video, we're going to start out by testing the upgraded pump and the final trim of the 96th LA. We're going to get Alvin in for trimming, and we're going to be testing the higher voltage pump for the Red October, adding a little bit of flotation, and then maybe we'll be close to being done. So lots and lots of awesome epicness coming next week. Make sure you like and subscribe, then you'll know when the new video drops out. With that, I guess it's time to sign off. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. And with that, I am going to let you go. You have an awesome rest of your day. And as always, we will catch you next time.